President Trump this morning defending his 25% tariffs on all imports from Canada and Mexico, as well as 10% on Chinese imports. The order, though, is not in effect right now, expected to take effect at midnight tonight. But Trump posting on Truth Social this morning, quote, Canada doesn't even allow U.S. banks to open or do business there. What's that all about? Many such things, but it's also a drug war, and hundreds of thousands of people have died in the U.S. from drugs pouring through the borders of Mexico and Canada. And then here's the key point. Just spoke to Justin Trudeau. We'll be speaking to him again at 3 p.m. So a bit of back and forth with the two leaders. Welcome to a brand new hour of National Report here on this Monday morning. I'm Sean Kreisman.
I'm Christina Thompson, filling in for Emma Reckenberg. Happy to be here with you today. Now, during his exchange with reporters last night, the president also accused Mexico of being abusive towards the U.S. in terms of trade. Here's that moment.
Look, Mexico and Canada have never been good to us on trade. They've treated us very unfairly on trade. And we will be able to make that up very quickly because we don't need the products that they have. We have all the oil you need. We have all the trees you need, meaning the lumber.
Yes, sir. So this comes as the CEO of Canada's second largest publicly traded company saying Canadians want their government to do all the things that President Trump is demanding, slamming the outgoing Prime Minister Justin Trudeau for not preventing the trade war.
Canadian contributor Michael Charbonne is live in Toronto, Canada, with more on that and the country's retaliatory tariffs against the U.S. Michael?
Good morning, Christina and Sean. So let's just give a quick overview. First of all, Canada is your friend. We're your trading partner. $2.5 billion a day comes between our two countries with about $1 trillion U.S. annually. 70% of Canadian goods are exported to the United States. 73% of U.S. goods come to Canada. We exchange energy, minerals, manufacturing. Canada is a sovereign country. We're not for sale. We're not going to be the 21st state. And there's an old saying that says, let a sleeping bear lie. Remember that 900,000 U.S. workers are directly affected, and 8 million over the whole United States rely on Canada and U.S. trade. The premise of tariffs, which President Trump initially and continually repeats, is about fentanyl. Well, 1% of fentanyl that entered the United States came from Canada. CBP, your own organization, said that in 23-24, 43 pounds of fentanyl came from Canada to the U.S. and 21 pounds from the Mexican border to Canada. That's a little bit of a difference. And 1%, less than 1% of illegals crossed into the United States. Northern border from 23-24 was 23,000 and 2.5 million, probably more. With respect to the Spotify CEO, which is Toby Luke, the guy's worth $107 billion. He is absolutely correct in saying that we should negotiate and take a firmer stance. And I will also say, with regards to the comment about banking, the Canadian banking system is it's on a much more solid ground than the United States. Remember all those banks that went bankrupt and your government had to bail them out. And I'm just saying, and another thing, as far as your Super Bowl is concerned, I believe it's Kansas City. And here's something about this. Your tomatoes, 91% of your tomatoes in the United States are imported from Mexico, and 89% of your avocados. So your spread and your guacamole and your tralala that's going to happen on the weekend is going to be that much more expensive because Mexico and Canada are now having a little bit of a discussion. Let's hope we can resolve it, because that's the best way to deal with it, Christina. Sure.
Yeah, well, I'll find. I'm sure I can find something else to snack on. But I appreciate you coming with the facts, and I know that you're in Canada, so you're doing your due diligence there. Are you encouraged by the 3 p.m. phone call between the outgoing Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and President Donald Trump that is happening today?
Donald Trump is the art of the deal. Justin Trudeau is a wounded Prime Minister. Justin Trudeau blinked when he went down to Mar-a-Lago and came back and said we have $1.3 billion of border security. I am hopeful that both President Trump and Prime Minister Trudeau can understand the implications on both our borders and stop this silly fight and realize we are stronger together. Of course, we have differences, Sean, and let's negotiate those, but let's not throw the golden age, which, trust me, when your economy goes great, when your dollar is going great, I mean, it's $1.40 for a Canadian to buy $1 American. We're more than 30% underneath. So we're a bargain in more ways than one. So yes, Sean, I hope that the phone call today at 3 o'clock will resolve this and put both consciences on both sides of the border at ease.
All right, Mr. Charbonne, thank you very much, sir. Good to see
Michael.
you. We appreciate it. Kentucky Congressman James Comer is joining us now. We appreciate that, Congressman. Obviously, maybe you were listening to that conversation. Michael Charbonne, he is in Canada. He has brought his points on that. But obviously, it's not just there. Anywhere in the media right now, everyone's a tariff expert at this point. And they know exactly how this will play out, and it's conveyed on the media. And it's all negative. Your thoughts? Do you have any positive outlook on this?
Well, I do. I support the president, and I believe the president is a tough negotiator. He's been that his entire life. That's what he was known for long before he ever got into politics. And I don't think it's any secret that under Joe Biden, America lost a lot of credibility on the international stage. President Trump believes that we can negotiate a better and freer and more fair trade arrangement with Mexico and Canada. He believes that Mexico primarily and Canada partially are to blame for the influx of fentanyl and human trafficking that's pouring across our borders. And he's serious that he wants Mexico and Canada to get serious in working with a United States Border Patrol that is now under Donald Trump serious about securing the border. So I think Donald Trump's made his point that either you're going to get with the program or you're going to face serious tariffs. And I don't think anyone thinks Donald Trump's bluffing. I support his maneuvering, and let's hope for the best.
Congressman, let's pivot to Anthony Fauci. We have you here. You are the chairman of the Oversight Committee here. He did receive a preemptive pardon by former President Biden before Biden left office. But are you going to launch a deeper investigation into Fauci's response to the COVID pandemic?
Well, I know that Rand Paul is going to be essentially my counterpart in the Senate. He's wanting to go all in on this. He's taken the work that we did last Congress, where we proved that American tax dollars did go to the Wuhan lab through EcoHealth Alliance. We did get EcoHealth Alliance banned from receiving any American tax dollars. I believe our work led to Radcliffe declaring the obvious that COVID did come from that lab in Wuhan, China. So I know that Rand Paul's wanting to really focus on that. We'll work with him any way we can, but obviously he's going to take the work that we were able to compile last Congress. And look, everyone that we investigated in the Oversight Committee, whether it was Dr. Fauci or whether it was the Biden family or whether it was arguing with Jamie Raskins on our other investigations where he would continue to lie, all these guys ended up getting pardons from Joe Biden. What an admission of guilt by all the people that we investigated in the Oversight Committee last Congress. So I look forward to working with a Senate Republican majority now. We're trying to make sure that we don't duplicate services, and I know that Senator Paul wants to really focus on Dr. Fauci, and he's going to take the work that we provided last Congress and run with it.
Yeah, speaking of money, wanted to talk to you about DOGE and recent actions by DOGE collaboratively with President Donald Trump and essentially shutting down, at least for the moment, USAID, a foreign assistance agency, finding out that it spent about $40 billion, I believe, over the course of just 1 year. Some of it for good, but others say most of it is, according to DOGE, entirely wasteful spending. Even the website was paused. We're not sure if those that work for the USAID lost their jobs permanently or not, but ultimately just your overall thought on this decision.
Well, I support DOGE. I support what Elon Musk is trying to do. There are going to be worthy government programs, and I think we're going to find there are a lot of government programs that are obsolete and a lot of government programs that are downright waste, fraud, and abuse. So with respect to USAID, I think the American people are overwhelmingly against foreign aid. Now, with respect to me, other than the country of Israel, I don't see any need right now to continue foreign aid until some of these countries meet with Donald Trump and give us assurances that it's a good deal for the American taxpayers. I don't think it's a good deal in the overwhelming majority of these countries. We also believe that USAID has been funneling money through many of these NGOs, non-governmental organizations that were used to transport illegals to the sanctuary cities all across the United States and pay for their housing and things like that. So there's a lot of investigating that needs to take place with respect to where the money has been going. Now, when you're talking about funding African countries to famine relief and all that, I think the overwhelming majority of people in Congress support that, and I'm sure Elon Musk probably supports that. But we've got to stop doing this blank check to every government organization and assuming that the money's being spent the way they've told us. The Biden administration was not honest, they were not transparent, and I appreciate that Donald Trump and Elon Musk are trying to get a handle on wasteful government spending.
Yeah, it was alleged that this specific organization has been signing checks and not really vetting where that money is going, if it was appropriate, if it was not, but just simply sending out that money. Again, that was the allegation made. We'll watch for that. Congressman James Comer, thank you so much, sir. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Mexico's president not backing down, ordering its own retaliatory tariffs against the United States, rejecting President Trump's claim that her government has an alliance with drug cartels.
Newsmax correspondent Leonardo Feldman is live in Mexico City with reaction there. Leo.
That's right, Christina and Sean. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum has ordered retaliatory measures against the United States after the Trump administration imposed 25% tariffs on goods coming from Mexico. We know that the White House says they're not doing enough to stop fentanyl from getting into the U.S. and even went as far as accusing the Mexican government of having, quote, an intolerable alliance with drug trafficking organizations. Sheinbaum rejected that notion and said the United States was slandering their government. If the United States wants to combat criminal groups and wants to do it together, we must work in a comprehensive manner, but on their principles. The principles of shared responsibility, mutual trust, collaboration, and above all, respect for sovereignty. Sovereignty is non-negotiable. Coordination, yes. Subordination, no. Meanwhile, Vice President J.D. Vance tweeted this: "Poor, sad Mexico. International drug cartels operate freely within their borders, and Mexico can't do anything about it. It is childish, magical thinking to expect our southern neighbor to have barely functioning law enforcement." I asked Mexicans here in Mexico City for their thoughts on the tariff standoff and the job Sheinbaum has been doing to crack down on the drug cartels. Let's watch. Do you think she's doing enough to crack down on that?
I think she's doing what she can and what the government can. It's not enough. It's never enough.
Well, I think we've done enough. We've seen one or two actions that have been revealed, but I do think it is convenient to work together in a collaborative manner because there's situations that need attention. All these images we see on the news are situations that must be dealt with together without deviating the attention to other things. What do you think about what's happening right now between the United States and Mexico and how President Sheinbaum has reacted to the issue? Well, sincerely, my opinion is very simple. I think governments do whatever they want. I think that mostly that 25% is going to affect the United States, but maybe some of our export production will be halted for some time and may impact our producers here. And Gabriela Siller, a prominent Mexican analyst, says that the country's GDP could actually fall 4%. That's a huge number that could have tremendous impacts here in Mexico. Back to you.
Which would, again, make you think maybe they do show up to the table to negotiate, to stay away from these tariffs, or at least bring them down. We do appreciate that. Leo Feldman joining us live from Mexico City. Excellent reporting, by the way. Leo, thank you.
Thank you.